Welcome to HDTV. You're now rocking with your boy. Oh man. Okay. The price for the top NFL tight ends is rising, which is bad news for the Dallas Cowboys as they attempt to sign Dalton Schultz to a long-term deal. The Cowboys placed a franchise tag on Schultz earlier this offseason, which gives the playmaker a 10.9 salary for 2022, a sizable raise from his 4-year, $2.9 million rookie deal. Dallas can still reach a long-term contract extension with Schultz, which would mean the tight end would not play on the franchise tag this season if the two sides come to an agreement this summer. The Browns just signed tight end David Njoku to a 4-year, $56.75 million contract extension per NFL Network's Ian Rappaport. Schultz topped Njoku in nearly every major statistical category and is likely to command an even bigger contract. Bleacher Report's Paul Kasabian projects that Schultz will ultimately sign a 4-year, $64 million contract with the Cowboys. Still, Schultz is 25, has proved to be a better offensive weapon, and any contract talk should start with Njoku's deal as the baseline. Kasabian wrote on May 27th, the gold standard for tight ends is Kittle's 5-year, $75 million contract. $30 million of it is guaranteed. Schultz isn't in the 3-time Pro Bowlers tier, but he deserves a contract that breaks $60 million in total value after being one of the key pass-catching weapons on the NFL's top-scoring offense last year. The best guess for a Schultz deal, 4 years, $64 million, $30 million guaranteed. Let's see. Schultz is coming off of a career year for the Cowboys, posting 78 receptions for 808 yards and 8 touchdowns during his 17 appearances in 2021. By comparison, Njoku had 36 catches for 475 yards and 4 touchdowns for the Browns last season. Schultz does not appear concerned about his future with the Cowboys, noting that he plans to let my agent kind of handle all that. I mean, again, dude, I let my agent kind of handle all that business. And right now, I'm just focused on the OTAs, man. Schultz told reporters on May 26. Schultz previously expressed his desire to remain with the Cowboys, but Dallas will need to be willing to spend if they hope to keep the tight end past this upcoming season. The Cowboys selected Wisconsin's tight end Jake Ferguson in the 4th round of the 2022 NFL Draft with the number 129 pick, providing a bit of insurance behind Schultz. It is in no way an indication that the Cowboys want to move on from Schultz, as Dallas is thin at the position after releasing Blake Jarwin in March. Ferguson believes he can learn a lot from playing in Dallas along Schultz. Just watching him, and especially all the other tight ends that have been through here, they're all smooth. Ferguson told the Cowboys website on May 18th, they're not the fastest guy, they're not the strongest guy, but they're smooth, and smooth is fast, and fast is smooth. You watch those guys, they're smart, they know where the holes are in the defense, they know what to do in the trenches, their technique is there, so just being able to try to perfect my craft and get to that level is something that I really pride myself on and really try to get to. I've got to work to get to those points to even be considered with the guys that have been through here. Dalton Schultz, I look up to those guys, Jason Witt, and some of those absolute ballers. So they would have to spend some money. Dalton Schultz has been pretty good. I mean, he's been a solid tight end. So you can say that he's worth every penny of that contract. He is, because out of all the weapons that Dak have, he's the most consistent. You know, he's the most consistent. He's a guy that I would look for. Dallas, if I was them, I would sign him back immediately because, you know, you got to understand, like, it's hard to find a tight end who could block and run routes and could catch. So you want to keep him so you can so because if you got CD Lamb and him on the outside, you could give him the ball on Schultz down the seams or down the middle of the field. So let's see. Mm-hmm. So also, just when the man child was turning into the man, the child reappeared. Joel Embiid diminished 2 years of consistent maturation Wednesday night when he intimated that he liked to join former teammate Jimmy Butler in Miami as the Heat were losing Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Final. He tweeted, Miami needs another star. Embiid later tweeted, y'all stupid, in response to the inevitable explosive reaction, but we'd have to be stupid to think he didn't understand that his original tweet was not incendiary, except no other explanation for this tweet. Excuse me. Embiid knew exactly what he was doing. Embiid is smart to begin with, but his social media IQ is mince grade. If you could win a Pulitzer for trolling, he'd be the John Updike of Instagram. This is the second time he has flirted online regarding joining Butler in Miami. In February 2020, in response to fans booing him and his shushing them, Embiid pouted on Insta that he was becoming a villain in Philadelphia, to which Butler replied, I know a place where villains are welcome. The new tweet comes hard on the heels of their unseemly public pining for each other on the night the Heat knocked the Sixers out of the playoffs. I still wish that I was on his team, Butler said. I won't sit here and say that I didn't wish he was my teammate. I still don't know how we let him go, but I wish I could still go to battle with him, Embiid said. An odd homage to the man who just taken your manhood. He knows he can deny any indication that he's displeased after his 6 healthy years as the Sixers centerpiece, but he also knows the tweet will fuel speculation that he wants to be traded. Further, he knows this sort of behavior sows seeds of discord. He's being paid to score points, grab rebounds, block shots, and lead a franchise. This isn't leadership. This is the opposite of leadership. This is petty, this is silly, this is disruptive, and most of all, it's disrespectful. It disrespects his employers who have paid him $102 million for just 4 playoff series win in his 8th NBA season, only one of which he completely uninjured. It disrespects the fans for whom he is the face of hope, the crown jewel of the 9-year process. It indicates they don't matter to him. Worse, it disrespects the teammates who chose Philadelphia in order to play with Embiid, Tobias Harris, Danny Green, and most of all, James Harden. This tweet is all the things that Joel Embiid used to be petty, silly, disrespectful. It is the things he seems to be becoming again. That's why he can't get a fair shake. This is the sort of juvenile behavior that cost Embiid votes in the last 2 most valuable player races. This is the sort of attention-seeking tomfoolery that put him on the last 2 All NBA second teams, despite finishing second in MVP voting each year. A feat never before achieved. The tweet entrenches an anti-Sixers bias that pervades the NBA, whose roots lie in the process. 9 years ago, second-year owner Josh Harris let first-time GM Sam Hinkie dismantle the Sixers and lose on purpose for 3 years before the NBA stepped in and rescued a rudderless, leaderless franchise. It takes a long time to wash off that kind of stink. Embiid spent years making what was foul positively rotten. He initiated long-running feuds with players such as Hassan Whiteside and Karl Anthony Towns, both on court, where things got physical, and online, where things got vulgar. He trademarked his self-imposed nickname, The Process, which diminished the importance of the team, and even sued the team for the rights to the phrase. He shows up to every training camp out of shape, but he's getting closer every year. He produces less in the playoffs than he does in the regular season, exactly the opposite of true greats such as Shaquille O'Neal, Hakeem Olajuwon, and Tim Duncan. He was the league's biggest clown, sacrificing respect for fame and marketability. He finally had begun to change his image, but now he fired off his tweet, the sort of missive that will fuel speculation about his discontent for years. Years. One aspect of the tweet that has largely gone unaddressed, it mocked the Heat, who not only bullied the Charmin Soft Sixers out of the second round 2 weeks ago, but who are just 2 years removed from the NBA Finals. The Sixers haven't reached the finals since Embiid was 7 years old. Maybe another star would help, but they're doing okay as is. Friday in Boston. Friday in Boston. They forced a game 7 and they did it without another star. Embiid seemed to be moving past all of these issues. The arrival of his son Arthur in 2020, combined with his MVP quest, spurred him to focus his energy. He slimmed down his body, he ramped up his game, and he kept his mouth shut and his fingers off the keyboard. He was growing up than this. I don't agree with the Shaq thing. Shaq and Embiid are the same damn player to me. The only difference is that Shaq probably was tougher, but we've known this about this guy. It's like, what's so different now? I know it's different now because he said about Jimmy Butler. And Embiid never wanted Jimmy to go. He wanted Jimmy to stay. And Philly, they were going to pick they didn't really pick Jimmy because they didn't trust Embiid. Because Embiid has always been immature. He's soft. He can't handle the pressures of a number one. Didn't you see that video I made? Everybody wants to be praised, but nobody wants the responsibility. He don't want the responsibility. Philly fans are some of the most passionate fans in the world. I like them more than the damn Boston fans. Philly fans will cuss you out when you need to be cussed out. They just don't go overboard like Boston fans who just don't like black folks or like players at all. But if you're their black guy, they're like, yeah, you're our blackie, so you're good. So Joel Embiid did this because he wants to go play with Jimmy Butler. And I've said this for 2 years. When Jimmy Butler left, Joel Embiid wanted to go play with him because he was upset with management because they didn't keep him. He never wanted James Harden because he knows what James Harden is. Because he's the same person. He's soft. So that's why he wanted Bradley Beal. Because Bradley Beal got what we call bows. He got bows. That's why he wants Bradley Beal, because he know Bradley Beal could save his ass when he needs it saved. He wants to play with Jimmy because he know Jimmy will save his ass. But dog, Jimmy not showing he's a number one. He got to close this series out today. Tonight, he needs to close it out. No excuses. But he proved the other night, dog, they don't really need Joel Embiid. What they need is a consistent scorer. So when Jim Butler turns to Jim Butler and not Jimmy Buckets, not Jimmy got soul. When he don't got that, then it's like, man, what are we doing? That's all I'm saying. When Jimmy got soul, that's when, he's playing at the top of his game. But then when he play like DeMar Butler, then it's like, oh gosh, what is going on? Who is this guy? But Embiid is a coward. He's soft. He's always been soft. You guys overrate these guys. I told you guys, look at what's happening to Tatum. Tatum turning into that guy. Tatum's turning into what we think he is a Scottie Pippen. I told you. I told Christian that. Now, if they win tonight, I'm not going to give them no bail. You got to go win the chip. If you don't win a chip, I'm sorry, dog. You're just not going to be looked into as that guy. You're just not. You're not like Iverson If Iverson had a James Harden on his team, Iverson would have went to 3, 4 championships by now. But see, you get all these guys. You had a bit. If Iverson had a Ben Simmons, Iverson would have still took over. Iverson like, oh, Ben not shooting, who cares? I'm just scoring when it's time. When Ben Simmons was struggling, you should have took the bull by the horns and said, "Don't worry, Ben, I got this. Don't worry, I got this." No, you and Doc threw him under the bus because you know why? Both of y'all are career soft ass guys. Both of you guys are both chokers. Both of you guys have what we call no heart. And that's why nobody respects you. Yeah, Ben Simmons, we knew he won it back in LSU. But at the same time, if you're that guy, you're supposed to dominate regardless. You and Kevin Durant have the same issue. Y'all look for, I need help. I need help. Instead of just saying, I am the help. I will get this done. I'm the guy. We don't need nobody else. I'll handle this. LeBron can't do that either. He always got to find somebody else. And his fans got to blame people. It's the same thing with your soft ass Embiid. And I'm sick of it with your no hard ass. We finna send you to the Wicked Wizard. I'm not the Wicked Wizard, but we finna send you to the Wizard to get your damn heart because you're soft. So thank you guys for listening, man. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this. Hit that notification bell to select all to receive upcoming notifications. And if y'all love what y'all hear, y'all can donate to the page by going to my Cash App, hitting that link. And you guys will be able to cash out whatever you like, whatever you desire. Also, if you like the super chat when we premiere a video or go live, you guys can do that. And if you guys can't do that, you guys can do the super thanks. You know, super thanks works even after the video's over with. So thank you guys for listening. We out. Deezy.